Hey everybody. So today I just wanted to talk about some fun videos I came across while looking into the situation over in Las Vegas, how their tourism market has pretty much like collapsed and just how rough it is. But in the middle of all that tragedy, I was reminded of one of my favorite reasons to visit any casino. See, I'm not a big gambler myself. I don't really care for it. If I go, I kind of I try to have some fun, but it's like whatever to me. But for me, I get to the point where when I go to a casino, I almost treat it like going to the zoo, because the most entertaining thing there is always going to be the other people gambling, and more specifically, it's the insane rituals these people do to try to like favor the gods so they can win something. It's really funny. Here, I'll show you guys a few examples right here. So now you understand what I'm talking about. This right here is what I love seeing at casinos. Forget the gambling, forget the big wins. I'm always a winner when I get to just experience the world through their eyes. This guy, he's a bit more on the tame side, since it looked like he just brought his own personal mirror, was giving himself a nice motivational pep talk. I'm sure he was telling himself, "You're not wasting money. You're not wasting money. You're gonna win." But yeah, but now I want to move on to something a bit more strange. Yeah, this is a bit more in line with what I've seen when it comes to people performing their own little rituals at casinos. It's certainly a strange method, kissing every part of the slot as it stops. um, I, I wouldn't be doing that. I feel like those screens are being touched by so many people. They have to be some of the dirtiest places on earth. But you know what? This brave soul is puckering his lips and going face first into danger. Because to him, that's how you win. By not being a coward and by possibly contracting syphilis. Now, you didn't think I'd forget about the old folks, did you? Because honestly, of all the people I've seen doing this kind of thing, it's always old folks that are like the most ready to go crazy with their rituals. This is actually a bit more tame, but it's probably some of the more common thing you'll see as like your as like the gambling rituals, where they'll just stand up, start tapping on the screen as like as like the little bars are moving. But you know what? You got to look at it in like a positive way. They're all there together, they're building community, and they're all losing their money together. Just like God intended. But at least they're getting some exercise, having to move up and down, up and down. Granted, it's counteracted by the fact that most of these places smell like smoke, and they're probably destroying their lungs. But you know what? You take the good with the bad. All right, so rituals, they evolve with time, and this next one, it's a little. It brought me back. It did bring me back to an older, simpler time. That's all right. The cinnamon challenge was reborn, this time in the form of crippling gambling. But in all seriously, it looks like they're having fun in the video. They're clearly like joking about it. But I looked into it because I thought it was a bit for the video, but no. this is another known ritual where you put cinnamon on your hands, and I guess that's supposed to give you like good. I don't know what the logic there is for good luck. Because at least with something like a four-leaf clover, those can be pretty rare. So yeah, that can be considered like a lucky find. But cinnamon isn't exactly like hard to find. It's not like at least as far as I know, it doesn't have like some deep connection to culture where it's considered lucky. The closest I could think is like cinnamon's a spice, so maybe that makes your hand spicy, and that's good. But like, wouldn't jalapenos or peppers make more sense? That guy would make more sense if you rub like chilies on your hands, because then your hands would be hot, and you want hot hands at a table. But no, cinnamon. That's what was decided upon. But you know what? There, just because casinos are loud and smell terrible and are filled with just obnoxious people does not mean you can't get closer to God, which is what's happening with the guy in this next clip. So yeah, these people have been hilarious. This guy was hoping God was would pray his answers because he looks like he needs that jackpot. I don't know if you can hear him in such a loud ass place, but you know what? Here's to him. Hopefully he wants something. Anyway, I wanted to. As fun as all of this has been, I am curious as to like what they why they do these rituals. A part of them, I'm sure it's just because like they think it does help. I'm sure a few of them do, but I've always saw it more as like people want control over their lives, and while you're in a casino, you have very little control. You know, as a saying, the house always wins. But there are certain spots where you have more control than others. And where you'll see a lot of these people doing these crazy rituals is actually at the slots. Now, given slots is majority of any casino, but it's the slots where you just have the least amount of control. You can't do anything in your to switch up the odds in your favor. You might feel like a certain machine is hot or lucky, anything like that. But at the end of the day, it's all up to whether that machine hits that magical RNG button and says, "Okay, I'm ready to pay out now." And sure, there might be a way to guesstimate which one's ready. Like if one just paid out a huge jackpot, you know you can't touch that for a while. But even then, you don't know the last time that thing hit a jackpot. You don't know the last time any of these hit a jackpot unless you were actually there. So I do think these people do these rituals sort of as a way to get control. 'Cause- but at the end of the day, like I don't want to as long as you're like going to any casino to just to like gamble for fun. It's like yeah, that's cool. That's cool. You know, it's your money. You're an adult. Uh, you do you. It's it's where I would hope that people who go into casinos looking to make money, they're the people who really shouldn't be gambling, right? Because every time I go to a casino, which is super rare, but I always go in with the mindset that I'm here for like an experience to interact with people, and I understand that I will most likely lose money, and if I don't lose money and I actually end up winning something, that's just the cherry on top of the experience. If you're going into a casino expecting to win money, you really you fucked up from step one. I would hope you don't do that. You take a look at the money you have before going in and go like, this money can go somewhere else that would provide some other level of happiness. And I know casinos are like designed to release those fucking endorphins like crazy. But if you are gonna go to a casino, I would recommend just going to the tables. The tables are At least, and again, not to win money, but to for the experience, right? For me, the slots have always been more on the boring side, just because you can only hit a button for so long before you're bored out of your goddamn mind. And at least with the slots, you're interacting with others. You're there's some back and forth. Like if you play any kind of card game that, and I mean like Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, all that, then you'll get a feeling like that where there's some camaraderie there, even though you're all against each other. You're there to have fun, and hopefully more people see it like that because going in with the like trying to make money at these places, it does not work out for everybody. That's all I can say. But I think that's it for this video. I just thought this was super funny that I started seeing a bunch of these ritual videos. Dude, some of these are being posted by like Yamava, the big one of those big casinos. They post it onto their page, and it's kind of funny because like these are their big customers, and I think just like me, they're making fun of them. They are making fun of them because it is funny, but it's funny as in like you kind of can't look past what's happening on screen because because like the second you start thinking about, oh, the old lady tapping at the screen is spending away her social security check that she would need for food on at the casino. You're like, oh yeah, yeah, this is definitely one of those subjects where the less you think about it, probably the better, just because it's gonna be less sad in the long run. But anyways, I guess that's it for me, guys. Have a good one. What do you guys think? Like, do you enjoy do you enjoy going to the casinos? Is that like a big part of your guys' routine, or are you just same like me? You'll go maybe once a year, spend a couple hundred, knowing you're gonna lose it, but have fun, having a couple drinks there, and just chilling. All right, have a good one, guys. See you.